And here we are in the room with a lady, and I'd like you to tell us who you are.
Want me to tell you who I am?
Yeah.
Carrie Weaver.
Carrie Weaver. Can you tell us how old you are? Would you like to or not?
92 years old.
When will you be 93?
April the 12th, I'll be 93.
Yeah, how many days? My goodness. Some people call you another name, though, I've heard.
Hardly, hon. They
I
call
heard people call you by the name of Grams.
Grams. Oh my, I should say.
Do you know how that name came about?
Hmm?
Do you know how that name came about?
Yes. After my children were married, my 2 daughters, and they had their children, and then they called me Gram.
That was another name like grandmother, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Can you tell me, can we go back a little bit in your life?
Yeah.
I mean, a ways back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when you were born?
Oh, good grief, I should say not, hon. No,
What was your mom and dad's name?
her mother's name was Otilia. Dad's name was Jess.
And what was his last name?
Hmm?
What was Jess's last name?
Brent.
And that was your maiden name?
Yeah.
So it's Carrie. It was when you were a little girl. Your name was Carrie Brent.
Yes, when I was small.
Did you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah. Now, wait a minute, son. How many brothers and sisters? I had two sisters. One died, and that's Hilda. And 3 brothers. 4 brothers.
Are they still living?
Yeah, no, only 2.
Do they live around here?
Hmm?
Do they live around here?
No, not this close. No, they all have their own homes.
But I mean, are they in the state of Maryland?
Yes, yeah. They all have a home, their own home, and been very fortunate in making a marvelous living. They have a very wonderful life.
Tell me about some things you remember with your brothers and sisters.
What do I remember? I tell you the truth, I was raised, my parents were very religious, and we were raised in a way that we had to, when anything went wrong, we would have to go to my father, call us, and we had to sit with him and explain our troubles. And then he'd straighten us out and kept us that we got along beautifully. But he was firm with us.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the most troublesome in the family? You remember?
Troublesome? I wouldn't be honest if I said that about any of them. They were very, got along beautiful, hon.
Great.
Yes, we got along beautiful.
Did you help out your brothers and sisters a lot? Or?
Hmm?
Did you help your brothers and sisters a lot?
Oh, yes. All through life, we've always been that way, very close, all through our lives.
Let me see now, when you, did you live in the city or the country?
Well, my parents owned this large home, but, hon, it was then out, I guess you'd call it, not the city, what do you call the next to the city?
Suburbs?
Suburbs, yeah. It was more like that, not the city.
You like it in that area?
Hmm?
Did you like it living there?
Oh, yes. We had a lovely home, and Dad had horses, and, oh, we had a beautiful home. It was a lovely home.
Did you get to ride the horses?
I didn't know. The rest of the family, all of them didn't enjoy, but not me.
No.
But they were lovely animals. You know what I mean? They were nice animals. And they had 4 horses.
What did your dad do?
My dad was with the railroad for until they had an accident. He was with the railroad on Monument Street.
What?
He had a very good job.
Uh-huh.
And then after a while, he was in an accident in some way on the car where he was working, and he had to stop. And then he bought a team and started in the express business.
You mean like carrying things around?
Huh?
What do you mean by express business?
Well, I mean, he had trucks and city delivery, what would we call them? The city delivery wagon. They had 2 trucks. And then this extra city delivery, like, what would you say that was called? It had a top and all on it.
Ah. And these were horse-drawn?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, do you remember the name of it? The business?
The business, well, yes, Dad went by the name of Brent.
Uh-huh. Did his sons help?
Huh?
Did his sons help?
Oh, everybody. Oh, my goodness. He had most help. Oh, he was loved. He was a person that you couldn't help but like. And he had so many nice friends. And even the men that he had worked with before he had to stop after an accident and went in business for himself, those men all come out and spend near every week. They'd all come out to see him.
Great.
He was loved. Everybody liked him. He had a lovely disposition.
And while your dad was in business, what were you doing? Were you with your mom at home or what?
I'd stay home. No, Mother had help. But I'd do little things, like baking. Mother taught me how to cook and bake.
That's when you started learning that?
Yeah, and then I'd do all those things to help, and then gradually I made the bread.
What was your favorite?
And bread,
Mm-hmm.
I'd make the plain, and then I'd make raisin bread.
Ah. So your mom was the one who taught you that?
Hmm?
Your mom taught you that?
Yes, indeed she did.
She...
But she had help. We had help all the time there.
Uh-huh.
But Mother taught me those things.
Did you like school when you were little?
Hmm?
Did you like school when you were little?
Yeah, I went to school till the 9th grade. Then I stopped, yeah.
Do you know why you stopped?
Yes, because I was inclined to be a little nervous, hon.
In school?
And yeah, and I stopped. Then Mother made me the doctor's orders, and I stayed home. I didn't go back to school after that.
Oh.
After that, I never went back to school.
Huh. Did you fall in love early in life?
Well, I can't say that. I was about, I guess, 18 years old, and then I did.
What happened?
And then a young man went around with my brother, and came home, and Mother allowed me to go to a movie or we'd go out and pick flowers. I was allowed to do those things with others, and then finally, well, I guess we thought we were in love and got married.
You guessed it?
Yes, but he died.
What
So,
happened?
He died. Then after that, I was single again a long time.
Long time?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah?
Then I was single for years.
What happened?
Then I met Mr. Weaver.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh.
What was his first name?
Walter.
Walter Weaver?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And then I got married, and that's the end, and he died.
Where did you, do you remember where you got married?
Now, wait a minute, hon, wait a minute. And, yeah, St. Anne's Church.
Great. Well, we covered a lot of years in there. Did you happen to have any kids along the way?
Children? Now, let's see, I had Anna. Then, no, I didn't have a lot of children. I can't say.
2 children?
2 children, yes.
Who's the other one?
Hmm?
Who's your other children?
Now, wait a minute, hon. Oh, after Mother and Dad died, I kept house.
You did?
Yeah, for my brothers and sisters. Took care of them and kept them till each and every one married and went on their own.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
But what
Well,
happened? I mean, your mom and dad died early in
Oh,
life?
Mother died young, 50 years old.
And how about that?
But Dad, he had not been real well after he changed his job, went in business for himself. Well, and after a while, he was in an accident, taking his gooseneck truck, the hind truck, was delivering something and pulled out in the car track. And when he pulled out, the wheel went down and through him, and they ran over him. And he was in the hospital for about 10 days and died.
The truck run over him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, run over.
And then what did you do with your brothers and sisters after that?
Kept him?
In the same house?
Yes, sir. It was a large home. It was like 2 houses, large. Plenty ground all around it.
Jeez, always.
And that's the way we lived till each and one married and left me.
Everybody had their own room?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, was it? Let's see. See if I can think. Oh, golly, hon. Oh, it was a large home. I can't tell. I wouldn't be telling the truth. I'm afraid I have to know what I'm saying when I say it. Oh, it was a lot of rooms, hon. It was a large house, and we had plenty of room till each and every one married and left me.
Uh-oh. Then what did you do?
Well, then I just stayed there myself and kept home. And then after I had married Walter, then we went and bought a home.
Your own home?
Yeah, we
Oh.
bought a home. And I lived there until he died suddenly. See,
Do you remember what happened?
Yes, he died from a heart attack.
Do you know how old he was?
When he died, yes, he was, I wouldn't like to answer that now. I'll say he was anyhow 65.
Uh-huh. And then for a long time you didn't get married.
Never.
Well, how did you find your second husband?
Well, how I met him, now, wait a minute. My brother, he went around with my brother. They played ball games, you know.
Oh, that's right, you told me.
Yeah, they played together in ball games and like that, and went around together for a long while.
Was your second husband younger than you?
No, he was not younger than me at that time, no.
And what about your daughters? How did they come about?
When I had these children, I had to go to the hospital when one was born.
One was born in the hospital?
Hmm. And then the other one, I had a nurse at home.
Which one do you have a nurse at home?
I'm kind of trying to get that straightened out myself.
Uh-oh.
I guess it was then that I had the time with, the first, and then it was Dorothy afterwards, see.
Uh-huh. Were they from your first husband or from your second husband?
Second.
So you didn't have any children from your first husband?
No.
Jeez, that was a long time married without any children.
Yes, but we didn't.
Didn't want any, or you didn't?
Just wasn't, I don't know, hon. Maybe I was the one weak or something. I don't know. I couldn't answer that and be truthful.
But it worked out for the second husband.
Yes, indeed, I did.
Great.
Hmm.
And how was it bringing up your daughters?
Oh, they were wonderful. I was blessed with them daughters. I never had a lot of trouble with them, hon. No kidding. I wouldn't tell the truth if I said they were in any trouble. Anne was very quiet and always religious. Anne was always quiet. And I can't say that your mother was as quiet as Anne, but she was, a wonderful person, though. Oh, my. I was blessed. I often say that sitting over home here now. I was blessed with my whole family all the way through.
Jesus.
I had what you'd call a wonderful life. And to this day, I don't regret one thing.
No?
Mm-mm.
That sounds like you had a good time.
Yes, I did.
I have some pictures out here, and I want you to tell me, can you tell me who this one is? Let me see, there's one right here.
Oh, well, get some glass.
You gotta get some glasses?
Mm-hmm.
All
Now,
right.
I'll tell you, if I can tell you, huh?
I gotta get it in focus, that's the hardest part.
Keep the priest, the blessed saint in there to watch these glasses. Now, what do you want me to look?
That one right there. Two people, just a minute. I'll bring it over to you. Right here.
Yeah, there's my husband, see him?
And which one was that?
That was the Walter Weaver.
Your
The
first
second.
husband?
Second
Second
husband, yeah.
Okay. Who was Pat?
That's Pat right there.
Well, how come? I thought his name was Walter.
Walter, but that's what we call him, Pat. Pat.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. That's him.
Great.
Walter.
Great. That was his nickname.
Pat, we just nicknamed him.
You don't know how he came to get that name?
No. We just nicknamed him, said, come on, Pat, come on, or like that. That's the way we are. Yeah.
You had good times with him?
Oh, wonderful. Really. I mean that.
He was good to you?
He was very easy to get along with. I have to say that, hon. I mean, and when no matter what you cooked, he'd always rave, and everything was well. You cooked this, and even if it wasn't, he said it was.
I heard you were a good cook anyway.
That's what you said, but I guess after all the experience.
When
Yeah.
you lived with Pat, when did you all get the house on Cliffmont Avenue?
Well, I got that with Pat when he was living then. See, he was working for the not the railroad, the car line. See, and they were building them. Then they were built, and then I don't know who told me about this one house. I can't remember who told us, but we went over and took it right away, and that's how we got the corner house and lived there.
Ah.
Yeah, that's right. We lived there in the corner house.
Was that wasn't the first house that you lived in then?
No. We had lived in another home, of course.
Oh, you had
But the home that I've had all year, that large home.
Mom and Dad's home.
Yeah,
And
large.
then you went from Mom and Dad's home to the Cliffmont Avenue house?
Yes, sir.
Ah. So that was a new house then?
And now, wait, I gotta remember that,
Okay.
just what you said, because I'm not sure of that one. Did we leave there and go there? I guess that's what we did, but I'm going to not be sure on that. I'm sure on what I said about living there, but I'm getting a new home to live in. But I'm not going to say it, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure of that.
But did you buy it new?
Oh, yeah, brand new. It just finished.
Great. Great. Okay, there's a couple other photos here. Let's see if you know any of these other people.
Taken. Oh.
I see another one here. I think it's the two of you again. Let me see if you recognize this one.
That's Walter. That's Pat. We were down. Ed had bought a home. This is the home. Ann and Ed bought this home.
And your daughter.
Yeah, that was their home. And we were down there on a visit. Yeah. That was their home.
Well,
This one? Which one?
Well, I got it. I'm looking at it a second. You look pretty young in this one.
No, I wasn't young, hon.
You don't think so?
No, but I must have faded away as the time went on. But I wasn't real young, hon. No.
How old do you think you were then? You can't
Oh,
tell?
hon, I'd say maybe in my 60s.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then that was 30-some years ago.
Yeah, well, all them things that's happened's been many a year ago.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite part?
What was my favorite part? After I took over the home as my each one would marry and leave. I'm keeping the home then.
Which home?
My home where I lived on Cuthman.
That was your favorite part?
Mm-hmm.
You liked that home?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
How many years were you there? Do you remember?
Oh, golly, hon. Many and a many. No, I couldn't tell, but a many and a many year there.
Did you have good neighbors?
Oh, yeah. But then they didn't all, I mean, couldn't undertake to start by and then you know how things happen. But other than that, I couldn't tell you anything concerning them because I mind my own business all through life. I lived very quiet that way. I never bothered anyone. But everybody's been lovely to me that would go by and speak and say good morning and all like that. But other than that,
Did you have a garden at your house?
I had a most beautiful garden, hon. It had all the backyard, and I was alone when this all happened. All the backyard, the side was all kind of flowers. Back of it was all kind of flowers. Up on the other side was all kind of, then I had a big mound in the center. And I went around and did that for a couple of neighbors. Helped build up the back, give them some of my plants, and put in the back of the yard for them.
Really?
That's all they were, they could have, I couldn't have been treated, oh no, they were wonderful. They were lovely neighbors.
Did your two daughters live in that house?
Now, wait a minute.
On Cuthman Avenue?
No, oh yes, I'm telling a story. When poor Ed, they had to sell their home because Ed had the hardest, and Ed was ill with the heart. See, that's Ann's husband.
Uh-huh.
Well, they sold. And then they couldn't get to where they were to go right away. And then they came and I let them take upstairs, whatever they took on. I can't remember now how many rooms. But they were upstairs with me and clean until he went out and dropped dead when he died sudden.
How did they do
Huh?
up there? Were they bothered to you upstairs?
Well, they're lovely. They were lovely people, lovely neighbors, I mean, see?
Uh-huh.
And the company would come and, he was such a grateful soul. I never get done thanking you enough for you being there.
Did you like having people in your house living like
Well,
that?
I was like, yeah, I like people. I didn't mind.
You didn't want to live by yourself?
Not always, no. I was glad to rent because it helped me to keep paying. I owned that house and ground, see, afterwards, but not right away I didn't. I had to finish paying all that and get that money together.
After your husband died?
Yes, sir. And I had to do things that I can keep that home
What did you
until
have to
I
do?
sold it.
What did you have to do?
Well, I had to rent, hon. I'd rent like one room, and other times I rent two, but that's the highest. But then I'd rent like that.
And that would help you make your payments?
Yes, indeed. Helped me to keep my house going.
Great. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
That's the way I had it.
You didn't happen to did you have any other visitors come and stay upstairs?
And no, not a lot of visitors. They'd have company, but not a whole lot. They all were kind to me, you know what I mean? Not taking advantage of me being alone, but they were nice. No, I can't complain, truthfully. Till they got somewhere where they want to take a home or go, they moved in.
Did you rent to men or did you rent to women?
Well, I had women as well as men, a girl too as well as men. I couldn't say that. But they were gentlemen, do you know what I mean? That man was a perfect gentleman, perfect.
You remember his name?
No, I can't think of his name.
How about when your daughter's son left home? Did you help him out anyway?
Now, wait a minute. No, he's all right. And which one do you mean?
Phil Sibley.
Philip. I can't say a word against Phil Sibley because I loved him. I thought he was the best thing ever lived.
No, I mean, didn't Phil come and live with you?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. For a while, yeah. And 2 years. And then after you left, but I couldn't have had any nicer person in the world.
I heard you made good mashed potatoes.
Who?
I heard you made good mashed potatoes. That's what I heard.
I ain't no good match with anybody.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes, oh yeah. Oh, they raved about everything you cooked, hon. Even my neighbors did. They all raved about what I cooked. Whenever I baked anything special, my bread or...
Good raisin bread.
Yeah, and I'd break all that. I'd give them a loaf or something. That's all right. We got along beautifully, I'm telling you.
Did you enjoy giving to people?
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause I never had a desire to be selfish. I didn't want to in life.
Well, have people tried to hurt you and
No.
take advantage of your selfish...
No.
And your
I've been
selflessness?
blessed. No, they didn't, hon. Graham's I was really blessed there. If you'd have heard them, how this went on when I had planned to sell my home, my house and ground, and come live with Ann alone, when Ann was by herself. You ought to have heard them say, "Oh, Weaver, please don't go. Oh, Weaver, this." Oh, they thought maybe I was scared I was getting old, but I wasn't. But I went up there and everything's been fine. And the lovely neighbors I had, oh, I'm telling you, I couldn't be treated. They've been out to see me and all. I have lovely neighbors. I couldn't say enough kind things about them.
Well, I enjoyed your help when I had to move in to stay for a while. Do you remember that?
Yes, but you were good. I said the 2 years you were with me, you were good.
Couldn't have any women upstairs, though.
No, I wouldn't have that. You're right. But when I told him, I've told that behind your back, I said I didn't have no trouble with him. He was good as gold. I didn't. Graham's didn't.
Good.
That's the truth. And I try to keep you with nice company, and as far as I know, you did go with everyone was nice.
Uh-huh.
See, I couldn't find a thing wrong and be honest, because I didn't know anything to say.
Well, how do you think Phil Sibley turned out?
How
do you think Phil Sibley turned out?
I think wonderful. I think he's wonderful.
What about his mom?
His mom? Dorothy's a good old faithful Dorothy. I have to praise both of my girls. I am blessed with 2 wonderful daughters.
I'm glad to hear
And I have to boot. Oh, she's crazy about you, Phil. She's always got something nice to say or try to straighten you up, when anyone else thinks anything. She's right in there to straighten up for you. And I have to say that about my daughters. I was blessed with them. I lived a lovely life with my 2 daughters. Now, that's unusual for a mother to be able to say at my age, 92 years, going on 93. I've lived a lovely life. Ann and I get along. People won't believe how we get along with one another. No quarreling, no arguing, but if they misunderstand, we say what we think. But we don't do any of that quarreling. No, I'm trusting in the Lord and try to be good because I know I'm on borrowed time, hon.
What do you mean?
I have to feel that I'm living here and it's God's will, but it won't be this way always when you get in your 90s, hon.
Do you talk to God much?
I have to. I go to my own room sitting there and I can do a lot of praying. I have to do it, yeah. Because I want to be that ready for him, and he'll forgive me all my past sins.
Well, it doesn't sound like you got too many.
I don't know. I couldn't say I have, but I have some. I'm not perfect, perfect. And I want the Lord to know how sorry. And I go in my room and sit in there and just pour it out every day of my life.
What do you pour out?
All my sin, all my complaints.
Your complaints?
You die. It's a good thing you can't be next and listen. But I go in there and tell the Lord almost what I'd like things to be so different and all.
See? Well,
so I got so much to be grateful and thankful for, hon.
Well, how do you think God's been helping you?
I think God does a wonderful job with me. I mean, he's had plenty of patience with me. You know that.
Well, you don't seem to be much of a bother.
I know, but I do. I like to talk to the Lord because I think I need it. I really do.
How do you think that you learned about the Lord?
How did I learn? Oh my, I learned that young. I had a very good religious father. And we'd sit down and he'd tell us, let's sit down and talk this out or listen to me. If you'd say something didn't just say, and we'd sit down and he'd carry his Bible and he'd talk it all out with you. That's the way I was raised.
Was he a
My
Catholic?
father raised, oh, he was the most wonderful person.
Was your dad a Catholic?
He died a Catholic through Father Brianza. And can you remember the priest that Dad met? And the priest took him on hunting trips and they fell in love and he turned Catholic for the priest even.
Oh, he wasn't Catholic?
No, he was a Presbyterian. He had been a boy. He had helped out in a Protestant church. I can't tell where it is now, Washington, somewhere it was. My father helped him in the altar and everywhere at the church.
Jeez,
He was good. You know, he wouldn't say nothing unkind or hurt you. But you had to be good in his estimation. And you'd sit there and he'd explain, let you know you have faults. See? You couldn't bluff him and say you didn't have them. He'd want you to know you have faults. And he was good all through his whole life. He was just a good soul.
So I can see that he certainly helped you learn about God.
Yes, he did.
That's good.
That's right.
So you pray to God every day?
Yes. Oh, do I? I should say I believe it. Oh, I have faith.
What do you when you say you believe in God and you pray, you said you're praying to God to help you.
Help me, keep me, guide me right, hon. I suppose my mind, it could now, I don't want that to get on there. Suppose my mind wouldn't stay nice like it is. How grateful I am, hon.
You tell God that?
Yes, I have to tell him, the Lord, about it, because I'm clear like you are. Not maybe not as good as you, but I'm still clear. See?
Uh-huh.
And when you get in contact in public among a group of people, like we go to meetings, and you'll hear them all complain this or that. They're not that way. And this way I got that to thank God all the time for while I'm here. See?
And what would you like to have God help you with in the future?
I'd like to help that I hope my eyes don't fail me. That's one thing, which I'm timid of, is my eyes. And I do hope that I have my vision while I'm living, if it's God's will.
What do you think God's will is going to be?
Well, I think God's gonna, I guess you'll say, oh, I often say to all of them, I'll say, I bet he says that doggone woman's on that line again. When I get talking to, things come to you, hon, about where you're wrong in so many ways. You don't want to see that you're wrong. You know what I mean? You want to try to stay right all the time. And you can't do it. Sometimes you fail and don't do it right. And that's what I'll say to myself. Oh, dear Lord, I want to do the right things in life. And I do. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Great.
So that's about all I can think about now.
You did a good job.
Did I?
Yes.
I hope I did, hon. Don't go by me now. Everything I've told is the truth and nothing but as far as I know. And I know that I tell the truth about things.
Well, how do you feel about the truth?
Well, I want to feel right, hon, because through life I've tried to feel that way. I don't want to. I want to feel confident that, that I don't want to express things and then be sorry after I've expressed them. Because sometimes there are things said that you don't want to say and you don't want to speak unkind. Because you can stop to think. You have faults of your own all through life. You have some faults. I have faults. We all do. We try to be good and let the Lord know how sorry, but we still have faults.
What about what about people that lie to you? How do you feel about that?
Well, I say that. No, I'll never taken care of them a bit. I ain't gonna worry about them, hon.
But what do you mean they'll be taken care of?
I think there'll be a day that they'll think that out. Maybe they hadn't the right to say it or do it. None of us are perfect, hon. None of us. But I think that's the way I feel about that.
How
And
about
I'm going to die knowing I'm living this way.
you're you're definitely living this way, that's for sure. Now we've got it on tape, and we can tell people afterwards too.
Oh,
Over and over again, we can tell them.
oh no. I just say God bless every one of my family and everyone that belongs to us. And He does too. You know, honey, even with you, God, you can get a little disheartened at times with things, and then God helps get you straightened out right. See? That comes to everybody in life. I don't care who. Well, now I'm going to stop worrying you now. Give you peace. Whew, whatever you'll do with all that peace, I don't know. Oh, dear Lord.